Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here, getting a little tired of doing the intro. Doom the Dark Ages 100% walkthrough mission 16. Let's get started with going through the mission challenges. There's a mission challenge for all 5 of the wolf statues. I'll show you that as they unlock a Wraithstone. And then more importantly, there is one for getting 20 kills with a single ammo of the BFC. There's only 1 or 2 good places to do that. I'll show you that near the end of the video, and I will be working on my accelerator weapon mastery for the most part. This is a really good mission for that. I'll tell you why a little bit later. Once you gain control of the character, walk forward and to the left. At the end of the path, you'll find your first out of 5 wolf statues, and then drop down the cliff, turn around, and you'll find this small portal hole. There's 3 of these kind of holes around the map, and all of them lead to a somewhat fun but pretty easy puzzle typically. For the first one, all you need to do is drop into the water in the middle of the room, drop through the bottom of the water, landing in the middle on the platform, which will allow you to use your shield saw throw ability. Once you throw it, you can unlock the gate. Then you can drop down onto land, unlock the eye using your shield saw. And then once you break open the saw, I thought you actually run through the door, but you don't. You drop through the water again, landing on the platform below. Here you can get a sprint start to land on your first pickup, which is a secret area and a ruby. After picking up the ruby, go through the portal on the other side. As you exit, there will be some pieces of gold to pick up, but the game will actually spawn you a little bit further than the first piece of gold, so make sure you grab all of them. Then what we can do is move forward. There will be a couple of enemies to spawn, but we want to focus on the wall we can clamber up on the right-hand side. Here we'll find a mancubus. We'll quickly take care of it. If it seems like I'm taking my sweet time with some of these enemies, again, it's because I'm working on my weapon mastery. After taking out the mancubus, step on the button, which will release a door. That door, you can then reveal a superheated metal latch. Use your shield saw in order to break open that latch, and then you'll be able to find a toy in a room on the right-hand side, which was previously locked. Additionally, you'll get an enemy to attack you here, and after taking them out, we are going to kind of start working towards our closer objective. This is one of the few times where I'm working around a map clockwise instead of counterclockwise. But from that secret toy, if you walk forward towards the objective, you'll notice a stack of 8 gold on the ledge, as well as a wolf statue down below. Grab both of those before you move on to the battle in front of us. As you approach it, you may notice a few pieces of gold that lead into a cave with the wolf statues. We're going to have to come back here later, as we have quite a few more to find. Once you come into this first battle, you can try using your crossbow to get 20 kills, although this arena is a little bit harder to get 20. If you want to get 20, you actually want to shoot in the middle of the area instead of on one of the groups to the left or to the right. Now, this is also a very important tip. Do not use your crossbow on the leader to finish off these areas. The reason is because sometimes when you use your crossbow on the final enemy, they'll essentially disintegrate, and you won't be able to melee them in order to grab the demonic essence that they're supposed to give you. So just to be safe, I will advise you not to use your crossbow ammo on the final enemies. Again, it's to save you from having your demonic essence glitch out. It's just something that happens more often if using the crossbow. Otherwise, I'm using my accelerator, not a very quick weapon, in order to take down the final boss here of the little arena. But we're going to do it anyways just to get some decent progress. Almost at 200 of 1,000 for Redline there. Grab the demonic essence upgrade for maximum armor, and then interact with the main objective to grab our first of 2 relics for the mission.
Relic acquired. 1 remaining.
After grabbing the relic, we're going to continue working along the outer edge of the map clockwise, and as we kind of come around this corner, not too far from that relic, if we look at the edge of the cliff, you'll see a couple of health or armor pickups, and if you look off the edge, you'll find another wolf statue. That is 3 out of 5 for now. We are at 19 gold, 1 out of 5 secrets, 1 demonic essence. We'll also find a stack of 8 gold right next to that statue that we'll grab. And around this corner is a great enemy to use your accelerator weapon mastery. When I first talked about weapon masteries, I said I would do them in order, but I ended up optimizing them for the playthrough by doing things like using the accelerator on these giant tentacle arms, often getting 100 or 200 points of progress towards these weapon masteries on a single tentacle. After taking out the tentacle, go to the left. You'll find some pieces of gold that lead into a puzzle cave. This is probably the hardest one and the only one that kind of stumped me. To simplify, your overall goal is to be in the water when the water is on the ceiling. So you'll start off by basically throwing your shield saw in the energy node and then jumping in the water, but then you have to kind of steer yourself in the water so that you don't fall out of it based on the motion. I like to basically just find a ledge and then push myself against it. And then you'll be able to come back outside and do it again, throwing your shield saw into the energy node, kind of pinning yourself against a platform, and then you have to fall from the ceiling onto the center platform in the room. And from here, you'll be able to grapple into a chest, and I believe this chest is going to have 50 gold, as they all do. It's also a secret area and reveals the portal to now exit. As we exit, a good piece of news in this case, the tentacle arm actually respawns for me, and I'm able to get another like 100 points towards my red line weapon mastery here pretty easily. So that's a pretty good little thing we can do. And we are still using the dread mace, which is not great for the accelerator as it does kind of starve us on ammo. But after the tentacle, you'll also notice a mancubus. We'll take care of the mancubus, and just behind it, kind of in the corner here, you'll find a 4th wolf statue. So stick to the right hand side here, another giant tentacle. We're going to work on that too, and then we'll grab the wolf statue just behind it. From that wolf statue, you're going to want to kind of head towards the main objective marker. You'll find this mantleable wall. Go up that wall. As you come up that wall, just keep pointing towards our main mission objective, and you'll fall into this pit. As you fall in this pit, you'll find a couple of enemies will attack you, and there is a stack of 8 gold. I believe picking up the gold triggers more enemies, so it's up to you how you handle that. You can pick up the gold right away, just take care of all of the enemies, or do it in stages. But for now, I'm going to be working on my accelerator weapon mastery just a little bit, and then picking up the gold soon. Now, this map can feel a little complicated, but it's actually pretty small, and the point of no return is all the way at the very end, so you can't really miss anything. From that piece of gold, after taking out the enemies, move towards the very center of the map where there's a sentinel shrine, and if you find this wall that you mantle on, I'm at 97 out of whatever many gold we have. I'm going to pick up a few more pieces of gold and then link to the center of the map. At the center of the map, there's a sentinel shrine. You can use it if you want. We'll come back to it later. And from there, you can then walk kind of towards where we started off. And as you walk there, you'll find this kind of bridge that has some health, and it links towards more enemies in front of us. We'll quickly take care of those enemies so they don't annoy us, but that bridge is of particular importance. I do believe I'll open up my map here. Maybe not. But on this bridge, if you look to the left, you'll see a small hole in the wall. Here you'll be able to throw your shield saw in order to activate an energy node, then go down across the bridge and up the path on the left. Once you're at the top of this path, you'll be able to notice a couple of pieces of gold that you'll be able to grab. And then as you drop down from this cliff's edge, you may notice a couple of enemies, but don't snatch your shield back, as that will close this door. This door is open because we threw our shield at the energy node inside. We found a secret, a stack of 8 gold, and a Codex inside. And now we can take out some of the enemies that are attacking us because we've done this. Now I'm going to open up my map here very quickly just to show you where we are, as we kind of did a couple of small loops. But on the edge of the map, along the side where we spawned, you'll be able to find a bunch of things like this giant tentacle, some gold, and a secret. We're going to take out that tentacle arm again with our accelerator. It's a great weapon to work on this mission. We're going to get up to like 600 or 700 by the end of it. And from that tentacle arm, if you actually look to the right-hand side, there's a path that leads to one of those kind of secret puzzle doors. This puzzle is probably, definitely, most for sure, the easiest one out of all of them. All you do is you run inside, and what I generally did, I don't know if there's like a secret formula, I just ran in circles. I counted up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds, and then I just turned around and started running backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds. And at the end of the path, I found my gold chest, a secret area, and that's 50 more gold for us. Come out of the portal, and unfortunately, this tentacle arm does not respawn. You may notice some gold in front of you. Let's ignore it temporarily. Instead, follow the rock to the left and look up and to the right. Here you'll find an energy node, and that energy node will open up a gate. We'll just return to that gold we just saw that I told you to ignore. You'll be able to use a small man cannon that is completely pointless to get up onto this path. 1, 2, 3, 4 gold, plus 2 stacks of 8 gold, plus a BFC ammo. We're at 180 gold, 4 to 5 secrets. We're still missing a Wraithstone and a demonic essence. And we're going to go into this final battle here, immediately equipping our BFC. This is the best place to get the 20 kills with one single shot. If you launch it and immediately get it, that's great news. If you don't get it, I wouldn't think it's a bad idea just to pause and reload your last checkpoint and try again. This is really the best, absolute best place to use your BFC for those 20 kills at once. Otherwise, take out all of the enemies, and a gentle reminder, I would not personally recommend using your crossbow on the final leader enemy. The reason is I found that it actually can glitch out the demonic essence upgrade you get if you use the BFC against the final leader. So the Mancubus leader here provides us with a maximum shell ammo upgrade, and we're already starting to work on a lot of great things here. All we really have left now is a Wraithstone and a few more pieces of gold. So interact with the second relic here. Don't worry, the point of no return on this mission is very obvious, and you can pretty much keep exploring until you are ready to leave. So from that relic, we can now technically leave via the center of the map where the Sentinel Shrine is. We don't want to do that. Turn towards the Sentinel Shrine, start walking towards it, but stick to your right. And as you exit the arena we were just in, you'll be able to jump to these 5 pieces of gold. There is also a life sigil, which we could grab if we needed it. So we now need 3 more pieces of gold based on what we did. And we're actually going to walk towards the Wraithstone cave that I mentioned earlier. It's not a bad idea just to use your map to navigate to it, but it's pretty much underneath the center of the map, not far from where we got our first relic. But once you're here, you'll be able to drop down into the cave. You'll find your final 3 pieces of gold, your final wolf statue, and that will also unlock your final collectible, which is the Wraithstone. I'm going to tell you how to use it if you want to optimize your playthrough. So bring your Wraithstone to the Sentinel Shrine in the middle of the map, and personally, I'm going to use it on the rocket launcher. I think the upcoming arena is pretty good one to get a decent amount of progress. For this, we need to heal ourselves 50 times using the regeneration or the cannibalism upgrade. Now, the way this works is immediately after parrying attack, you can basically damage yourself with a close range rocket attack, and instead of taking damage, you'll actually heal yourself. And the weapon challenge is called Engorge. We have to do this a total of 50 times. So now I'm going to be working towards the accelerator and the rocket launcher, and I'm going to move into the next room. This is your second and final opportunity, by the way, to get 20 kills with a single shot from the BFC. So you can try to do it in this final area, although I would recommend it that you did it in the battle where I previously mentioned it. Now, I actually end up doing this kind of by mistake. I do end up using one of my BFC crossbow shots here just to see if I would have probably gotten 20 enemies, and I think I would have, but I'm actually about to use a second shot of my crossbow, and it's completely by accident because I literally forgot the controls. That is embarrassing. But we are going to be working towards our accelerator a little bit, and then we're also going to be working towards that rocket launcher. So for the rocket launcher, the best thing to do is to find a large enemy that you know is going to try to use a parryable attack. You want to basically parry that attack and then immediately just start shooting at the ground. And if you do this, you can get 5 points of progress towards this weapon challenge at a time. So I know this enemy is about to hit me with a parryable attack. I'm going to parry it, and then I'm just going to basically shoot the ground, and I'm going to damage the enemy. I'm also going to technically damage myself, but because of cannibalism, I'm actually going to heal myself. You can only get about 4 or 5 shots off at a time, and you'll have to wait for another parry here. I'm going to continue it against this next enemy. The best thing to do is basically, again, just parry the attack, and then shoot at the ground right next to the enemy. You could grind all of the rocket weapon mastery out here in this final battle, but that's, you know, min-maxing it a little bit more than you really need to. I'm going to end up at 19 out of 50, which is very good progress for a difficult weapon like the rocket launcher. Once all the enemies are taken care of, there's no other upgrades, nothing else to worry about. Walk forward, interact with the final stone. You'll see your relic, kind of interact with it a little bit here, and that should end off the mission as you exit through the door in front of you, getting your chapter complete screen and your 100% confirmation. You know the drill. Drop a like, share the video with a friend. Special thanks to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show, and I'll see you soon. Peace.